This is rather cool, I gotta say. I was wondering who left the window open, says Batman. Next page, Catwoman. This isn't the first time our paths have crossed inside the penthouse. Uh-oh. Is there a connection? Hey, one right here. So yes, I am reading the DC Comics of Batman, and I'm on the page where it shows Batman and Catwoman. So you're probably wondering, why am I looking at this? Well, this is a review, believe it or not, on the new Batman movie with, what's his name? Robert Patterson. So this has really been a really interesting story developing with Robert Patterson being the new Batman as it is. We know the other Batmans have been Ben Affleck. The first one since the late 80s, as I probably should say, is Michael Keaton was the original one in these movies as it is. Batman really goes all the way back, of course. And I was really born up with Michael Keaton. I think Michael Keaton did a really good job. But we also have some really cool Batmans from 89. I think it was around 89 till the day of right now. Okay, so let's think of some names before I actually start with this review. If you guys can remember, George Clooney was actually one of them this as well, too. What was it, one or two of them? Val Kilmer was the other. And the new Christian, was it Christian Bale? I believe that's right. And the newest ones with Christopher Nolan's last trilogy we just saw. And now we have Matt Reeves, a new Batman as it is with Robert Patterson. Okay, so where should I actually start off with this? I want to talk about Robert Patterson for a second, I guess, and I'll talk about the cast. Okay, so after showing that comic strip with Batman and Catwoman, we actually had a new actress once again playing Catwoman. We had Anne Hathaway actually play her. We had Michelle Pfeiffer, and we had Halle Berry actually play the role of Catwoman in her solo movie as it is. And in this one, we got Zoe Kravitz to play Catwoman once again. Oh my gosh, she did an awesome job, I gotta say. She's an awesome actress as she is. She brought the role, she brought this new Catwoman to the screen, and I loved it. And talking about other actresses as well too, Colin Farrell was in this movie. I saw his name in the credits, but I could not recognize him well in the movie because he actually played the Penguin in this movie as it is. Yeah, if you guys did not recognize the Penguin, yeah, it's Colin Farrell, believe it or not. And we had also Andy Serkis, this as well, who plays the Gollum in The Lord of the Rings. And he was also the boss in 13 going on 30 with Jennifer Garner just as well too. So Andy Serkis is making a strong comeback as it is. You should know that this as well. He may not have been in the movies of The Lord of the Rings, but you actually see him in a CGI mode playing that little Gollum. My precious ring. Anyways, he's playing Alfred in this new Batman, and I thought he was an outstanding. Once again, this cast was outstanding, and everyone in this film that was tagged along with this was really good, I gotta say. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about this story, anyways, because this new Batman brought a new, fresh outlook to this film. I was kind of wondering what's going to happen with this film since we know the back history of so many of these Batman. What is this? Is this like the 8th one in the series as it is? We had the first 4. Then we had, believe it or not, we had Christopher Nolan's version of the trilogy set with Christian Bale, of course. And I thought those were pretty cool, I gotta say. But Matt Reeves had to bring something different to the screen. And how would we actually approach it? The storyline is this. Batman is on the mystery of trying to figure out who this new Riddler actually is. So yeah, we are getting the Riddler in this story. And this is a new, fresh, different look. I thought it was really creative, I gotta say. They really nailed it really good this as well too. And I felt the story really grabbed me. I wasn't too sure how the story would actually approach, because when I first went to this movie, now when I first saw this trailer, I wasn't too sure how this was gonna happen with this new Batman being Robert Patterson. And I gotta say, Robert Patterson actually pulled this character off of Batman really good. I thought Ben Affleck did all right, but I actually thought Robert Patterson did better over Ben Affleck. I don't like choosing sides like that, but oh my gosh, I gotta say, Robert is a really good actor, I gotta say. And I really feel Robert Patterson's acting, it has been good from the start. I know the Twilight movies back in the past with him and Kristen Stewart were off to a little slump, I gotta say. I don't think the Twilight movies were all that great. The books were actually much better than the movies. But this Batman movie, he really nailed this, and I can see Matt Reeves' new Batman will probably get a new set trilogy, just like what Christopher Nolan's version actually did not too long ago as it is. And what's going to happen with this merge too? Because when I say merge, I'm thinking about other movies this as well. To think of this, a Joker, stuff like that. This is a perfectly good example too, because when I saw the Joker, what was it, with Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker, I really thought that movie was really dark. So I'm going to say, be prepared when you enter this movie. This movie is probably even darker than the Joker, believe it or not. This is probably one of the darker Batmans I've seen in quite a while. Even darker than Christopher Nolan's version, believe it or not. So this be open to going into this movie. You're in for a 3-hour ride, of course. And I felt this 3 hours does not really drag. It grabs your attention right away. And you dig into Batman's shoes and try to figure out the mystery yourself along when Batman's trying to figure it out, and all the other detectives in this movie as well. It's well done. Riddle me this, riddle me that. Who's afraid of the big bad bat? So yes, the Riddler is really different in this movie, and be prepared what you might expect towards the ending, because this Riddler is really interesting and clever and interesting at the same. I already said interesting, didn't I? But be prepared for a real Batman ride as it is. If you like the Batman movies, I'm just saying once again, from the first Michael Keaton movie, those movies were really fun. But it seems like once Christopher Nolan hit his movies, it seems like those movies were a little more darker. And approaching into Matt Reeves' movies, be prepared to be more darker than ever. And I feel Matt Reeves might actually approach to doing another set trilogy, almost like what Christopher Nolan actually did. So you guys, if you know some back history with Matt Reeves, he's actually done work on these new Planet 8 movies. And he's done a marvelous job with them. I gotta say, makes me wonder if they will ever do another Planet of the Apes movie. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. The last one was A War of the Planet of the Apes, and I thought that was outstanding. And I cannot wait to see what Matt Reeves actually does with this DC universe as well. And just like, with the start when I went to see this movie the other day, there is a lot of DC movies actually coming this year. The Flash, the new Aquaman, the list just continues on. And how will this actually tie in with everybody else? Will they do something similar to what the Marvel universe is actually doing? Will the DC universe once again merge everybody together? Will there be another Justice League movie? I believe there probably will down the line. But this not quite yet. I bet we'll probably get there in a couple of years as it is. But the DC universe is looking bright as ever. So anyways, my grade on this was a great, strong B. I wanted to give it an A, but there's just some things that were like a little off. Those directions, what I'm saying, are a little off. I felt they brought this a little more darker than normal. I was kind of hoping they would have lightened the tone a little bit, of course. And I feel I did catch a couple of swear words in there. So this movie could have really been avoided by these swear words and to get more of attention. This movie is PG-13, believe it or not. It's not an R film. You would actually think going into this film, this would be an R film, since seeing how dark it actually is, but it's not. But this is a set PG-13 movie. But this is a really fun ride still, even though I'm going to keep on saying dark, it's a darker film, because it really is darker than I imagined. Once again, I kind of expected it going into the movie, and going out, it was even more darker than I ever thought it would actually end the way it actually did. And just give you a heads up too, there's not really post credits, so if you stay towards the end, I like to stay towards the very end, because I really enjoy seeing the credits, who is involved. I like seeing all that stuff, and especially with the music as well too. The soundtrack is always good in movies, and I always just like sitting there enjoying the credits. And I had a really good crowd the other night too when I saw this. People applause even before we saw the main title of the Batman, and it actually got a really strong applause once we saw that directed by Matt Reeves, because usually that's the finishing point, and that's the beginning of the credits and everything. Awesome, I gotta say. So, anyways, once again, I can leave my grade over to the side once again. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this new Batman. Will Robert Patterson be joining a new set trilogy with Matt Reeves? I bet you probably will. So anyways, I'm going to say, my name is Ryan. Thank you for watching. Make sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time at the movies. See you guys later. Bye.